Hello and welcome back to the Garmin Round Denmark Race 2023 studio this time. Now, we have done some pre-recorded interviews with some of the participants that you can meet here. And first up for you is one of our participants on the single, no, sorry, not the single, on the inshore course. He's sailing fully crewed on a Pogo 40S. His name is, as far as I remember, Roger Henriksen. All right, he's going to introduce himself now.
And I own this boat. My brother. All right, my name is Roger Henriksen, and I own this boat. My brother and we bought it some 4 years ago, and we bought it for offshore sailing. So I guess this is a very good chance for testing the boat.
Cool. What are your expectations, and what did you sail before? Are you an experienced racer? How is your angle into sailing?
Well, I started as a windsurfer as a kid, so I've been competing in the World Cup, and I knew at some point that we were going to be sailing, and but I focused very much on windsurfing, and then at some point I wanted to test it out, and bought a smaller boat. And did some sailing around Zealand and so on. And at some point, we just wanted to, step up the challenge. So and we looked at this boat, and we liked it very much because of the speed, to be honest. And then we found one in France, and about 4 years ago, and we'd done some offshore sailing. And we did the Vegvisir back in, I think it was back in 2 years ago or so. It's somewhat of a challenge with this boat, especially in that kind of race, where you have very narrow passages and so on. The keel is about 3 meters, so I'm thinking that this race is going to be a little different. I mean, we have all these narrow passages, so we're really hoping that this boat is going to really shine in some offshore conditions. You could put it that way.
Whoops, so we're done. This was, I'm just gonna put myself back. We did divide this interview into 3 sections. So that was the first part. Now we're gonna have the second part. We're gonna add this boat. If people are not maybe know what kind of boat, what was it? 40?
40. It is a 40. It's a GTE. So there are 2 types. There's a cruising, and then there's the GTE. And the GTE is more race-oriented. And the keel here, as I said, it's 3 meters, and that gives it that. It means that you can push it a bit more in harder conditions. And that was what we were looking for. We did try the cruising one, but we expected that it would be a bit of a challenge in rougher conditions.
Is it a swing keel on this one?
No, not this one. There are some cruising models that is a bit similar to this one. There's a 12.5 meter that does have, but we didn't opt for it. We didn't choose that because maybe it's a bit more technical. And it's just one more thing to worry about. It's just better to have a fixed keel. Yeah. That's our point of view.
Okay, so and you're in the inshore race, and you are competing in the fully crewed category.
Correct.
How are you going to organize? How many are you on board? And
so we're 5 guys. We've sailed around Zealand, so we know each other. And we don't schedule we don't have like shifts and all that. We do it a bit more fluently, a bit agile. So we know who's good at what, and then we try to assess whether if someone is tired, they get the time off to sleep and so on and eat a bit. So we're not that rigid when it comes to the shift and so on.
Okay, that's the windsurfing hang loose spirit, more like an Excel scheme.
It might be, that might be why. Yeah.
Okay, cool. There's some pretty rough weather predictions if you look into the different forecasts. So what's your opinion on that? How are you gonna cope with it?
Well, this boat is made for it's made for transatlantic races, and it's built for rough conditions. So we really trust in the boat, and we've sailed this with 3 reefs and a short 4-stay sail. So we know that that we can go against the wind and still keep 7 knots or so and a 40 knot wind. So we're not that worried about that, but it's more about the waves and especially going upwind with the waves and how the boat reacts to that. But I mean it's an endurance race, and if we were to sail in those conditions, we would adjust the trim and so on, and we trust in the boat. But on the other hand, it's always better to make the finish line. So we can always push it if we wanted to. But of course, it's all about risk and assessing whether you really want to push the limit.
Okay.
And so I would say, I mean, we're not that worried about it, but for sure we take our precautions to make sure that we make it to the finish line.
Cool. That was part 2 of the interview with Roger Henriksen, Thomas Henriksen, I think. Anyway, we have the final part. You're gonna bring it on right now, and then you can hear what he says. It's the Pogo 40S he sells. Yeah, I'm gonna show you some images of that in another video, but here's the interview. Sail racing, we call it adventure sail racing, which is quite different to, for instance, one design boat races where you go up and down a course in a boat that are completely the same and stuff like that.
Yeah.
What do you think about this type of racing, which is where the navigation is open and where you don't have the same boats, but you still compete in every different boat you come with? What's your take on that?
Well, the way that we see it is that you choose your weapon. I mean, I don't know, that's a bit harsh to put it that way, but if you enjoy sailing one type of boat, then I think that you should be able to choose that boat and then sail in whatever conditions in every race you want to. So we very much like this type of race because we chose this boat, and there are not that many. This is a class 40, and there are not that many class 40 boats around. So it would be hard for us to find any races where we would find similar boats. And I would say that this race is where that is the most, let's say, compatible kind of race. And this boat fits very much this type of race. So that's why we signed up for it.
Okay.
And very much looking forward to it.
Cool. Good luck and fair winds.
There will be.
Cool. All right. That was the pre-interview from Aarhus. At the moment, Mr. Henriksen is on his way with his crew, heading south towards Gedser after the stopover in Helsingør. That's it for this pre-race interview.